Hi folks, it's me, Richard James Associo. Man, this is the JFK Assassination Tour of Truth 2022. I'm standing here somewhat at the Cabal here at the Rockefeller Preserves. There's a lot of history here. This is not a Rockefeller home. This is actually MaryMount College. Well, it wasn't MaryMount College. It has a lot of history in it and connects to the Rockefellers, but so much of the history is shrouded, and basically shrouded in secrecy and pretty much has a dark veil dropped over it. But if you see, I'm on a steep hill. I'm on a steep angle here. I don't think I've been in a much steeper hill. But this piece of property is called MaryMount. I mean, this is geographically and geologically, this is a hill, a knoll called MaryMount. And it's adjacent to the Rockefeller Preserves, which was the home of the Rockefellers, their summer home, which had purchased 100 acres, a massive piece of property. And this is the heart of Cabal. This is where the Cabal meets. Not necessarily here at this building, but this is all part of the Cabal. I mean, that's the odd thing about it. Why is this college here next door to Rockefeller? There's a history here and a reason why I want to explain. And like I said, a lot of it's shrouded in mystery. And that's the way the Rockefellers operate. But when you're tracking these Rockefellers, you have to be one step ahead of these wily coyotes. This is actually called EF now, International. See, the Cabal. And the history of this college goes back to the Mary Knoll. Here, MaryMount, Mary Knoll. Mary Knoll actually was a hill about maybe 15 miles away from here at Hawthorne, where the MaryMount, Mary Knoll missionary were established. All right, I was over in Hawthorne, maybe about 15 miles from here. Well, they wanted to expand out. They came up here. And they wanted to. I'm almost certain this was it, because they wanted a hilltop. This had to be it. But then again, so much is shrouded in history. They wanted to buy this piece of land. Well, basically Rockefeller didn't want them as neighbors. For one thing, they were Catholics. Rockefellers didn't let them mix with the Catholics. At least they didn't want it until 1900, until they took over the Catholic Church and going into the dawn of World War II, when they took over the Vatican through Pope Pius XII. Then they changed their attitude towards Catholics. But he came in. He bought the land out from underneath, under an assumed name. Yeah, that's the way he operated. A proxy name. That's what he did. Just like when they built U.S. Steel, he put all his ownership on a proxy name. The name was Cutler. He was a 20-year-old. He was his secretary. Cutler was his name. But anyways, this is what these people, they put all this in an assumed name. Sir Sandy, something I can't even pronounce. It's not important anyways. This is what everybody assumed it was Rockefeller. So he didn't want the Mary Knolls here. And then Mary Knolls pressed a lawsuit against this assumed name. Well, everybody knew it was Rockefeller. Supposedly they got $8,000 settlement. But here's the thing. The Rockefellers owned a lot of land over in, I gotta think of it now, over in New Jersey. When the Rockefellers first got kicked out of Ohio, they went into New Jersey. Because New Jersey welcomed Standard Oil with open arms as they established Standard Oil in New Jersey. I think it's called Lakewood or Lake Park. Lakewood Way. I could Google it, but it's not all that super important. But there's a lot of property over there. Connects to the Rockefellers, golf courses, homes. But supposedly, according to the researchers of Colby and Dent, Rockefellers built the Marion area college. They built a college over there in Lakewood. Okay. And yeah, they built a junior college for the Mary Knolls. Well, according to Colby and Dent, well, it fits in because they own the land over there. And during going into the Vietnam War, when they had a government in waiting in Vietnam, Diem was assassinated, stayed here in the Rockefeller, MaryMount College, at the MaryMount College in New Jersey for several weeks. He was a guest of the Maryknolls, and probably by extension a guest of the Rockefellers. So this MaryMount College, apparently the Rockefellers own this land, 53 acres, so they there's got to be a connection here. It's got to be. And it's Catholic. There's no crucifix up there, but it's Catholic. Well, now, it was at its origins. See, this is what's going on. This MaryMount College was eventually taken over by the Jesuits through Fordham University. See, if you look at the Warren Commission, here's what's going on here. This is the Cabal, okay? This is the world Cabal. These are the people who misrule the world here in the Rockefeller Preserves, okay? They have to deal with all the languages of the world. This EF College here, this MaryMount, this Maryknolls, what's their specialty? Language. See, because the Rockefellers dispatched their agents around the world, and likewise people from foreign countries come here. This EF University teaches English. Well, yeah, people from all over the world come here and brush up on their English. They're all serving the greater Rockefeller Empire. See, this is why this property is next to the Cabal. These are going to be the agents for the Rockefeller world domination. See, the goal of the Rockefellers is very simple. Dominate the planet and reduce all human beings to farm animal status, except for a very thin layer of people like Bill Gates and George Soros, who are the part of the Rockefeller. They're generals in the Rockefellerocracy. Bill Gates takes care of their bioweapons warfare, and Nazi George Soros takes care of the street violence, because that's how Adolf Hitler came to power, using street thugs. That's why the Rockefellers got the southern border open. So they let in street thugs and MS-13 and drugs to finance a lot of the stuff, see. They used those drugs to finance these street wars. Drug sales and drug lords, and goes on and on and on. David Rockefeller kicked open the southern border with his NAFTA agreements. Okay. Now I want to talk about the Jesuits. I'm not on my tripod here today. I'm on my... I'm kind of holding this camera. It's a little shaky, but kind of bear with me. Truth takes a little pain sometimes. But the Jesuits took over this Maryknoll for Fordham University. See, the Jesuits, the Rockefellers took over the Catholic Church. The Jesuits were the elite within the they were the elite assassins for the Vatican. And well, now they're within the greater world. When the Rockefellers formed the Round Table to assassinate JFK, they had the Jesuits there, because David Ferry, who stood trial, while he was arrested, 3 people were arrested for the JFK assassination: Oswald, David Ferry, and Clay Shaw. Well, David Ferry, when he was a Jesuit wannabe priest. He was a Jesuit wannabe priest. Yeah, they got kicked out of the seminary. And if you look at the Warren Commission, who's on the Warren Commission? Allen Dulles. Allen Dulles' nephew was a cardinal in the Jesuit. He was a Jesuit cardinal in the Catholic Church. You see, folks, when Nelson Rockefeller, before he gave the final order to kill JFK, 90 days before he gave the order to kill JFK, he went to the Vatican and visited the Pope. And the reason he did that, because he didn't want the Pope to think that they were going to kill Kennedy because of a war on Catholicism in America. No. They had a deal. The Protestants had a deal. It goes back to William Seward, and he was Secretary of State. Seward cut the deal with the Vatican that Catholics could come in this country and be safe, because before that they were lynching Catholics and deporting Catholics. So Seward cut the deal, and then the Catholics could come and speak their native tongues, and they could keep their priests and have their own churches and hospitals and schools. Yeah, so we have a Jesuit basically at a War Commission. See, it goes back, it's in the Bible, folks. It goes back to the time of Jesus. See, remember, the apostles lost faith in Jesus. They criticized them. Then they sold him out. Then they denied him. Then they went into hiding. And then they had their Pentecostal when they came out. And if you remember the story, the tongues of flame, the little flames came over their heads in the shape of hooves. And they were able to, the apostles were able to speak in tongues. In other words, they could speak every language of the world. Because Jesus came for everybody, not just for Jews, see? And the mission, and the Jesuits, that's their mission. The Jesuits are the ultimate. They're the elite within the Catholic Church, just like Yale University, the elite are Skull and Bones. And there was a lot of Skull and Bones, primarily took a very enthusiastic role in killing Kennedy, all under a Rockefeller Roundtable, or part of a Rockefeller Roundtable. And it's like the United States Army, the elite are who? The West Point. And in the Navy, it's the midshipmen, you know, the ones who went to Annapolis. See, this is the elite organizations within the organizations. There's a class system wherever you go. Yeah, Jesuits. And I'm sure the Catholic Church was unhappy with. I could talk more and more and more. It was hard for the Catholic Church to have to put down their greatest member. But they did it because they realized, it goes back to L. Smith. See, L. Smith cut a deal, too, with the Protestants. See, he knew the Protestants, the Catholics are working for the Protestants in their factories and mines and railroads and steel mills and auto factories. So they were putting all the ka-ching that the Catholics were putting in the collection baskets on Sundays were coming from the Protestant-owned industries and factories. L. Smith understood that better than anybody. The Kennedys didn't understand that. It cost them their lives. And that's why it was a huge windfall profit. Kennedy assassination resulted in a huge windfall profit for the Catholic Church and for and for the Rockefellers. The Rockefellers actually made money in killing Kennedy through their publications, Time Life publications and news. You realize how many articles and pictures of Kennedy they published, built the tabloid publishing. It goes back to the Kennedys. The Rockefellers made a fortune. Catholic Church made a fortune too because Johnson gave all his money out to his Great Society programs. A lot of those money was going back into the collection baskets. So he's operating just like now, like the price of gas. See, when the Rockefellers destroyed Biden, they destroyed Trump with COVID and street violence. See, now where's the price of gas now? $5 a gallon. It was at $2.20. I know that because I bought a car and riding the Trump boom. And then again, it's over $5 now. So all that windfall profit. Yeah, the Rockefellers spent a lot of money to destroy Trump. Well, we went to the Rockefeller Institute the other day. It's built like Fort Knox. They call it the university now. What a lie. Like it's university, like it's like Cornell University. You can walk around a bucolic setting, pastoral fields and trees. No, it's like Fort Knox. I pulled up with my camera. They were just like, boy, were they agitated. Like a bunch of crazy hornets picking up phones and staring at me. I was on a public sidewalk. You know, in Rockefeller, see, fences for them, yes. Iron bars, they hide behind iron bars in their secrecy, yes. But not for us, no fences for us. But for them, yeah. You come up here, all you see is fences and chain link fences and brick walls and stone walls and iron bars. Yeah, for them, yeah. Not for you and me. You see, that's what they're doing. And then they got, what's his name, going on the world, claiming he's saving the planet, the drug lord, John Kerry. Now, his relatives, Kerry, if you know, Michael Payne was related to him. Michael Payne, his mother was a Forbes. Yeah. See, this is the story. See, there's actually 2 photographs of President Kennedy with, and he's Skull and Bones. With Skull and Bones, John Kerry. Of course, he was much younger then. Two photographs. One was on the boat, and the other was, well, both of them were at Newport. See, the drug lord. And see, that's what they're doing. Kerry's going around the world claiming he's saving the planet, but they're just building their opium cartels. See, so the Rockefellers spent all this money, but they're going to get it all back. And then they're going to replenish all their foundations and their think tanks and their universities and it goes on and on and on and on and on. So, Rockefellers profit from crises. That's why they unleash crises. That's why they're evil. Okay, folks, did I lose Getting tired here. Did I lose my trend of thought here? You see what I'm trying to say? Then again, let me repeat this. I'm at the Cabal. See, the Cabal needs language schools. These are all language schools to teach the Rockefeller agents, teach them English if they're from foreign countries, and teach Americans foreign language. It goes back to the Jesuits. The Jesuits spoke in tongues. See, then there's some languages that are international, like French is international. See, like the power elite speaking French. The priests in the Catholic Church and some of their other not, who are not part of the clergy, they speak in Latin. It goes back 2,000 years ago. So some of these are international languages anyway. So this is it. This is why this language school here is next door to the Rockefeller Cabal, the Rockefeller preserves. We're going to go up there. I'm going to try to get into the Rockefeller Cut Mansion to see if they're open. Then I can show you their devil-worshipping grottos and their devil-worshipping Picasso sculptures and stuff that were commissioned by Nelson Rockefeller. We'll show you a few other things. I went to Bill and Hillary Clinton. They only live about 5 miles from here. They live on the same road Dave Rockefeller lives on. Yeah. Bedford Road. 5 miles down the road. Doesn't that strike you out, folks? That these people came from the backwaters of Arkansas and they're living down the street from David Rockefeller. Oh, by the way, the Clinton Foundation's in Rockefeller Center, the Time Life building. Remember, it was Henry Luce who bought the Zapruder film and hid it from the American public. Oh, by the way, he's Skull and Bones too. See, folks? But remember, never lose sight of one thing. Never lose track of one thing. It's all done on a Rockefeller master plan. We write books about the puppets. The trouble is, we never write books about the puppet masters. I do. I get a kick out of people that write books about presidents and stuff. Presidents are on the strings of the Rockefellers. All right, I'm going to move on now. I'll probably go over to Cut Mansion. Oh, I might go up to Sleepy Hollow and show you some of the people who connected the Kennedy assassination. Well, they're dead now, a lot of them. Oh, Henry Kissinger's still alive. Kissinger's 99. He should be indicted for his role in the Kennedy assassination. Also, Lester Crown too. He's 98. His father was Henry Crown was definitely involved in the Kennedy assassination, and he's also part owner of Rockefeller Center. See, folks, it always goes back to the Rockefellers. Also, John Rockefeller IV, but he was 83. He was the baby of the bunch, but he's guilty of covering up the truth. Because if I know the Rockefellers killed Kennedy, then the Rockefellers must know the Rockefellers killed Kennedy. So he's guilty of covering. Okay, see you in a minute.